Cub, torta, tremble. You're before my tweets. You're most tremendous big babbing.
Protests escalate in Iran. Will Trump take action? Iran has once again become the focus of international attention as widespread protests continue across several cities, driven by growing public frustration over economic hardship, political restrictions, and social freedoms. The demonstrations, which have drawn participation from various segments of society, have reportedly been met with a strong security response, raising concerns among human rights organizations and foreign governments. Former U.S. President Donald Trump has reacted sharply to the unfolding events, issuing public statements condemning what he described as violence against Iranian protesters. Trump warned that the United States would not remain silent if the Iranian authorities continue to suppress demonstrations by force. His comments, delivered in a characteristically confrontational tone, suggested that Washington could consider intervention if the situation further deteriorates. Trump's remarks quickly ignited political debate, both internationally and within Iran. Supporters of the protesters viewed the statements as pressure on Tehran, while critics warned that such rhetoric could escalate tensions and complicate an already fragile regional situation. Analysts note that Trump's position aligns with his long-standing hardline stance toward Iran, emphasizing sanctions, pressure, and deterrence rather than diplomacy. Iranian officials responded swiftly and firmly to the American warnings. Tehran rejected Trump's statements outright, calling them an unacceptable interference in Iran's internal affairs. Senior Iranian political and military figures stressed that the protests are a domestic issue and accused the United States and its allies of attempting to exploit unrest to destabilize the country. More significantly, Iran issued a clear warning that any direct U.S. or Israeli intervention, whether military, cyber, or covert, would be met with a decisive response. Iranian authorities reaffirmed their readiness to defend national sovereignty and territorial integrity, stating that any attack on Iranian soil would trigger retaliation. This message was aimed not only at Washington but also at regional allies perceived to be aligned with U.S. policies. The escalating rhetoric highlights the fragile balance in the Middle East, where internal unrest can quickly intersect with international rivalries. Experts warn that external threats, even when framed as support for human rights, often strengthen hardline positions within Iran and reduce the likelihood of internal reform. At the same time, continued violence against protesters risks further isolating Tehran on the global stage. As protests persist and political statements intensify, the situation remains volatile. Observers believe that while direct military confrontation is unlikely in the short term, the combination of domestic pressure, foreign threats, and regional tensions creates a dangerous environment where miscalculation could have serious consequences. For now, Iran's protests represent more than a domestic challenge. They have become a focal point in the broader geopolitical struggle between Tehran, Washington, and their respective allies, with the potential to reshape regional dynamics in the months ahead. In the end, do you expect Trump to actually intervene in Iran, or are Trump's statements just noise and hype for political and media consumption only?
Cub, torta, tremble. You're before my tweets. You're most tremendous big babbing.